to take a look at the automakers, which have been under some pressure in general, coupled with the fact now they have the wild card of tariffs. And as I was reading, some of the components and parts, they can cross the borders up to 8 times during the production process. So that could weigh on names like GM and Ford and Stellantis. We bring in Kevin Roberts, Director of Industry Insights and Analytics at Car Gurus. Good to see you. First and foremost, so I was just taking a look here and doing some comparisons. So for Ford, for example, the fourth quarter numbers were good enough, but the concerns were really about the outlook for this company. And so it's been down for about 6% and on track for the lowest close since 2021 on the Ford shares. Shareholders not happy when it's down 20% to GM's 27% gain. Okay, so that's a big difference, down 20% to plus 27%. So, Kevin, some more thoughts here on what happens here in 2025, particularly with the tariffs and these leaders and big names.
Yeah, it's a definite cloud hanging over the industry right now when it comes to what the outlook looks like for the industry in 2025. As you mentioned, parts industry, major uncertainty, vehicle parts can cross over the border up to 8 times in the life of the vehicle. One thing to keep an eye on is not all automakers are the same with how their vehicle production sits. So Ford actually has the highest percentage of U.S. built vehicles, so some potential room for optimism on that front. But they do have some high, volume vehicles like the Bronco Sport and Maverick that are made in Mexico that could be up for disruption there. So it's really going to be an automaker by automaker situation we have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Garrett Nelson, a friend of our network from CFRA, actually lowered the price target by $1 to $9, has a hold opinion on shares of Ford right now. Just waiting to see, there's pressure on management, some of the lackluster shareholder returns, and also just the outlook, what happens there. When you think about the world of EVs, so, when you think about which ones are the leaders? Does Tesla still have a big spot here? Rivian is coming back. And then I think of Stellantis, GM, and Ford. Stellantis has Jeep. A lot of people have Jeeps. Those are pretty cool. Where are the winners in your mind?
So I really think we're starting to see a lot more winners in the EV space when it comes to price. Consumers are very interested in EVs, but it has to come at a price level that isn't that much above what you would see for an internal combustion engine or a hybrid vehicle. So when it comes down to segment or brands, I think it really comes down to price at this point. Affordability is a key trend we saw in 2024, likely a key trend in 2025. And so styling is important, features are important, but really when it comes to EVs, I think the most important factor is price.
Where do you get a best bet? I want to buy a car. Which one is my best value for a best car, whether it's a car or an SUV?
The most popular in-demand segment in the U.S. has remained CUVs for quite some time. Hatches were always popular in Europe. In the U.S., I always like to call it the Costco effect. We want to have that big availability for size there. So CUVs from any automaker, I would say, is really kind of the key segment to keep an eye on. And as we're starting to see a lot more EVs and hybrids come into those powertrains, come into those segments as well, I think that's really where the growth is really going to be taking place.
Yeah, and quickly, I only have 10 seconds. Do you think prices go up this year for new cars and or used cars quickly?
Prices are coming down, tariff dependent.
All right, Kevin Roberts, thank you so much. Great to see you of Car Gurus. Appreciate it.